Tell me, how is everyone?
Good. Excellent.
You already have told you. I think you saw the morning call, right? Other people, has any of you seen today morning's call? No. Okay. Okay, Rita, I think she already said me. She
I
had.
think so. You in morning you said there was no one. No, I read that message.
In the beginning, but then later on people came. Yeah. So yeah, Rita had already sent me a message about after seeing that session how she felt. So thank you, Rita, for that. Uh, cool. So how are you, Vijaya?
Fine.
And how's your son?
He's also good.
Good. Recovered?
Yeah. Recovering.
Super. Very good.
Thank you.
Uh, Ruby, you had some question.
We were like I and Gina had been doing that Souls Temple together. So in that there was this thing that had come up where I wanted to actually inquire about how to rephrase that for the resistance. That is what was
Okay.
that? I've forgotten the exact words now.
1 second. Let me check. I think I have the message. So
I think it was emotional,
1
something to
second.
do with emotional something.
I'll just check. Emotional abuse. I got it. Protection from emotional abuse.
Protection from emotional abuse from opposite sex.
Yeah.
For
So,
self and body. Yeah, that was what it had come.
thanks for this question. Actually, yeah, what happens is when you ask a question in the workshop, then people also get to know what to do with that particular thing. So it's always more, empowering to ask a question in the workshop. Now, as far as emotional abuse and especially with the opposite sex is concerned, like what Atman always used to work on the premises of that everything in my environment is my extension. And if I'm being abused by someone, that means either I have a need to be abused or I have to learn to stand up for myself and not allow anyone to abuse. Either of the two. Okay. Need to be abused, if I say, what does need to be abused mean? Need to be abused actually is like coming from a pattern of the past. Um, if I have one parent abusive, or if I've seen one parent abuse another parent, whether it's physically, emotionally, or you know, uh, financially, any form or manner. So if I have seen that abuse in some form or manner as I was growing up, now I only know that that is what is possible. Like yesterday or day before, not day before I was off. Uh, for 3 days before, in one of the calls, in the 3 p.m. calls, we were doing healing with the mother, I think so. And so this person said that love, basically, it boiled down to love coming with corporal punishment. The person who loves you will beat you. And now, how did that play up in life later? I mean, obviously, when she's grown up, people can't beat her. But any kind of punishment is kind of almost associated with everybody that she loves. That those whom I love will also punish me because they love me. Now, these are associations that we have made due to whatever we saw growing up and what we interpreted of what we saw. Both. Uh, so funnily, if my father would beat my brother, he grew up thinking that, okay, spare the rod and spoil the child. Okay, because he was at the end of receiving the beating. I grew up just watching him get beaten up, and I grew up that if you make even the slightest mistake, you're dead. Now, how each one interprets what is going on. And second thing, I grew up with extreme guilt because he would be beaten up because he would fight with me. If he hits me, what will he do? He'll bring out all the anger that he receives on me because I'm younger. And so it's almost like displacement of anger, which all of us do most of the times. So in such circumstances, we see abuse as a part of love. And now abuse doesn't feel like a big deal. It feels like, yeah, I mean, someone who loves will beat you. Someone who loves the only the people who love you can punish you for things that you're not doing correct. And that's why they're doing it to correct you. They are doing it to fix you. Now these are the circumstances wherein now that becomes a part of love. And love everybody wants. Everybody wants somebody to love them. Everybody wants it at any cost. What is that cost? We never realize unless we actually come to such, therapies and workshops and conversations and these subjects that I've studied. And so when we study these subjects and when we realize, oh, okay, this is going on here, I don't have to continue taking that abuse. I don't have to continue being an effect of that abuse just because it was a part of my story in my childhood. Okay, having said that, I got what is my pattern, how to change it. And that is where, of course, your question comes. So here I would like to say is first is every time you're being abused, what is the feeling that is solidified in your body? We have to address that first. That every time I was abused, what did it make me feel? Even if it's emotional abuse or financial abuse or whatever kind of abuse, sexual abuse or physical abuse. Abuse is abuse, period. Now, how much that is going to impact me, only my body knows, or the cell memories of the past can tell me how much it impacted me, how much is stored in my body around. And if there's a lot stored in your body, especially abuse is like a trauma stored in the body. And when trauma is stored in the body, you cannot simply heal it in, say, one time or one therapy or one time doing Soul's Temple. You have to sit with it regularly. You have to see every aspect of it. And slowly, gradually, one by one, when you kind of um, deal with those feelings, then it becomes bigger. So, would you like to? Another thing, what I want to ask here is because, of course, I put all my Zooms on YouTube, and some topics are sensitive. Some topics people may not like to discuss in the open. So, if it is a sensitive thing and you still would like to work on it, but you don't want it to go in the open, then tell me accordingly. We can not put the recording out there and we can work on it now.
Vandana, actually, we were just doing for our body that we had started with the base thing for both of us. And this is the thing after 8 days of working on different things. That this is the one which showed up for while we were discussing about it. So this is the thing which showed up, that protecting our body and self from emotional abuse from opposite sex is what showed up. What is the underlying feeling behind it? I'm still not aware about, so I cannot really
Talk
explain
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
So then, in simple ways, if you have to look at it and just work on it, then you have to start working on um, storing the abuse in my body is my soul stem.
Okay.
Because it is stored in the body, that is why it keeps repeating itself. Anything that is stored in your body uh, will keep repeating itself like an autoresponder system. And these autoresponder systems are just there. We don't know how we created them. And after some time, it becomes a way of being. After some time, pain becomes homeostasis. Like, uh, so if someone is physically being beaten, every day getting thrashings from a stick, for that person, a little thorn pricking his finger, "Haan, kya hai? Theek hai. Remove," right? They'll just remove and they'll walk off. Nothing. It didn't do anything to them. For someone who's never been beaten, never scolded, and never, like, very delicate childhood, for them that one thorn that pricks, they'll be like, oh, as though like, pata nahi, haathi kad gaya ho. Now, an outsider will look at it, will be like, ये क्या है? एक काटा ही तो चुभा, इतना क्या चीखना चिल्लाना है इसके लिए? And for a person who's being like beaten, chalo beaten chodo. There, I know of a person who's uh, been in these, terrorist things, activities where gunshots are happening, people are being fired and killed. Now that person, क्या तुम लोग ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीजों के लिए रोते रहते हो? He'll be like, क्या है और इसने मुझे ये बोल दिया, इसने मुझे ऐसे कर दिया, इसके लिए बैठ के तुम लोग थेरेपी कराते हो? बोलता है यहाँ गोलियां चल जाती है, लोग मर जाते हैं, तब बैठ के हमारे पास टाइम नहीं होता है पेंडुलम देखने के लिए। कौन सा चक्रा हिल गया है? मारो या मरो। Right? So every person is seeing the thing from their perspective. And that is why Soul's Temple comes handy with, okay, what is it making me feel? And what is my feeling around it? And once I know, get in touch with that, maybe I've numbed it for a very long time. So, in order to not feel it anymore, maybe it was too painful that I didn't want to see it anymore. Maybe it created so much fear that I felt that, okay, इस chapter को box में बंद करके छोड़ दो. I don't want to see it. Now, these are the things when we start working regularly, they start surfacing. Now the body is showing. Okay, you started working on a pain here, but then here, then here, then here, then here, and then your entire body is starting to show that, okay, here also you have to see, here also see, this also, that also. And now you have to go deeper, deeper, deeper into yourself. And sometimes it will be uncomfortable, sometimes it will be okay to watch, and sometimes it will be very, very difficult. Now, out of these, storing abuse in my body parts is my Soul's Temple would be my first uh, recommendation. Okay, storing abuse. We don't need to categorize emotional abuse, physical abuse right now. We just say the storing abuse in my body parts is my Soul's Temple. My need to store abuse in my body parts is my Soul's Temple. My resistance to connect to those body parts and heal that abuse is my Soul's Temple. Then the abuser is my Soul's Temple. My need to still hold on to the abuser and the abuse is my Soul's Temple. My resistance to let go of the abuser and the abuse and allow me myself to be free is my soul state. Now that would be my way of going about it. And by the time I do this, I'm sure the body will tell things.
Can you repeat the need over here? My abuser is my soul's temple, and then my need to.
The abuser is my soul's temple. My need to hold on to the abuser and the abuse is my soul's temple.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So now when you're doing this, then automatically the body will show things, memories will come, something will come. And then you have to address that. Does that answer your question? Ruby?
Yeah, it does. You had said, can you just mention that resistance to connect to my body for storing the abuse in the body parts? You had said that my need to store the abuse in my body parts, and then resistance to connect to my body.
My resistance to connect to those body parts
Mhm.
and heal that abuse
Okay.
is my soul's temple. Why will we have a resistance to connect to the body parts and heal that abuse? Tell me.
It may be too painful.
It may be too painful, first thing. Second,
Because it might have become a pattern that it's just now normal. The new
it's become
normal.
normal, you don't even know that it pains.
Yeah.
Third,
I can't think of any.
third is that then I will have to completely let go of the abuser and the abuse.
Okay.
And that can be, if I'm very angry with somebody who's abused me, that anger would want me to hold on to that. Now, these are the things we have to go deeper and see what is it for me? Why am I not letting go the abuse? Either I don't know that it is even an abuse in the first place. For me, it is normal. And what people think as abuse, for me, it is like, हाँ ये तो ठीक है, ये तो सब लोग करते हैं. Now, I don't know. It depends on what it is for me. From that perspective, you have to but what I gave is like
The starting
a broad,
point. Mhm.
broad statements,
Yeah.
broadly what you can look at. Because abuse is definitely stored in your bodies. You cannot come out of it unless you heal the body. And the body healing requires more work. Not just Soul Temple. Apart from Soul Temple, I feel specially abuse ke liye, touch healing is kind of, receiving nurturing touch is very important. It's really important.
Vandana, the one workshop you are going to held now, shadow work, even that can help in this.
Shadow work can help in what made me attract that abuser in my life. For example, if there is this guy, if there's an opposite sex person, a male, who came into my life, like how Neelam says, what is the part of me that he or she is reflecting, which I haven't yet integrated in me? Where is, even if I don't abuse, where is my tendency to abuse? Oh yeah, so that also can be another statement. My tendency to abuse, to be abusive is my soul state. Okay. Because we all have a tendency to be abusive. I mean, none of us are saints. We control, we, that's this Vipassana thing, right? There's this Vipassana documentary of these 1,000 people in Tihar jail who have like really third level criminals, all sat in a Vipassana with Mr. Goenka. 1,000 people without any barricades, without any hathkadiyan. It must have been a task to be able to handle that. But Kiran Bedi and Mr. Goenka, the founder of Vipassana, they decided that we are not going to put handcuffs to the people. Come what may. And we are going to see the power of Vipassana. And they saw. Did all the 1,000 change? We don't know. Because in the documentary, in the video, there are a couple of faces which keep coming. But definitely it created some change, huge change. And after that, every jail, started in whatever Kiran Bedi's jurisdiction, started doing Vipassana. And there is a Vipassana center in jails after that. That was the beginning. So in that documentary, the line that I loved was, inside our heads, we are all potential criminals. When I heard that, I was like, wow, so true. What puts them behind bars and what keeps us outside bars is our ability to either have self-control over the impulse to kill, impulse to rape, impulse to hit, impulse to big or small violence, abuse. And that self-control those who have are not behind bars. But inside our heads, we are all potential criminals. So that is why, and in another book, Nonviolent Communication, this writer says that I'm not afraid to go into these war camps, refugee camps, and working with depressed people, because I know I'm dealing with human beings. And we're all human beings. If we could learn how to deal with that abusive streak in another and the abusive streak within us, that is when we don't encounter them anymore who will be abusive. But first we have to work on the abusive streak within us, and also the effect of the abuse inside the body. And that cell memory in the body will not allow us to change that. For example, I worked with a man around 40. And we were doing a hypnotherapy session, and it went to when he was in the 8th standard or something. Very lean boy. Now good enough, now hefty, but then very lean, and was going by a cycle on the road, and that cycle fell due to somebody hitting. The other person was a more bigger person in the physical body. And so this person always had this point of view that I'm weak and everybody wants to protect him because he's very thin. What happened to this person? This bigger guy, despite his mistake in the cycle falling, he came and hit this boy. Ek tamacha laga. Now what here became the boy's belief? That anybody who's bigger than me in size, authority, can hit me, even if it's my mistake. Now that's a cell memory, because gaal pe tamacha. And now the shape of the cheeks are also very different for that person. There's a lot of flesh to protect. How beautifully, when you study, I work with so many people, right? When you study how we create our bodies, how we store abuse, and how it keeps on playing in our lives. For me, it is like just amazement to be able to identify, and then we cracked it, and now we can change it. That is so like, there's so much beauty and brilliance in that act. And I am so grateful for all the persistent work that I have done with people. That now for me, it is like, okay, some conversation, here, I got the hotspot. And that's why my one-to-one sessions are more and more effective with every passing day. And now I don't feel, I don't allow people to not value my work. That is also a form of abuse. I have worked so hard to be where I am. So if you don't want to, invest time, money, or anything into it, unless I'm doing it voluntarily, that's a different story. Then you don't come to me. You take sessions from another person, or you remain where you are. It's not my responsibility to change things for everybody. Now, these are the things which I did so much work on myself to come to be able to talk like this. Because I would be like doing free therapies always. For 3 years, I did free therapies. Why? Did I know that I'm abusing myself and my gift? Or I should be valuing it, I should be charging it or anything? I was thinking I'm doing a very big, like big work, charity. It gives me like a lot of self-worth, pseudo self-worth, I would say. Today, what I'm doing is not from that point of view. Today, it's absolute choice, and I know what I'm doing. I have no self-worth issues anymore. But what I realized that time was that, oh, I'm just doing it so that I feel good about me, because otherwise I never feel good about me. Otherwise, I feel so low about myself. Otherwise, I feel I'm such a useless person that at least there's some way I can be useful to somebody. And that when, my teachers like Rajiv sir, to danda lege, without hitting you, he'll hit you and he'll make you realize कि ये सब नाटक बंद करो. Why you're not charging money? What is the inner feeling? What do you feel if you charge? What will happen? Do you think you're worthy enough? This and that, and he'll ask like that many questions. I'll be, हाँ, 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 आप सही बोल रहे हो. And these therapies that I took for myself from different people, I'm so grateful to those teachers and facilitators who didn't spare the stick. Because then that was the only way I could realize that, okay, what am I doing here? It's nice to want to be useful. It's nice to want to be of service to the mankind, which is great. Which space am I operating from is very important. Am I operating from, oh, if I don't do this, nobody is going to love me? Or am I operating from, I have so much that I can keep on giving and it will never diminish? These two are different. And that difference I got to know through self-work and healing myself and coming to a space of, yeah, fine, that's about it. So this when you start identifying within you these games that are mind plays with ourselves, and to make ourselves feel good, feel very like, light worker. I'm a light worker. And reject the violent streaks in me, the anger in me, the abusive part of me who wants to abuse but can't, because I have this image of the light worker. Now, these are the things I've really worked on, and I have no image anymore. I don't care what image. You think I'm stupid? Okay, fine. Thank you very much. You think I'm God? Okay, fine.
You know what you are.
Yeah, I know what I am. I know even my weaknesses very nicely. That these are the things which I really can't handle. And I'm okay with that now. That, yeah, it's a part of me. That is what shadow, integrating the shadow. Oh, this is also part of me. Reject करके कोई फायदा नहीं. क्या करेंगे reject? It's okay. Like today, somebody called me and said that I do these spiritual retreats, and a lot of people come. we go to exotic locations and we kind of, 3-4 days, we do these residential work programs. So this person said that, would you like to come as a faculty on one of my retreats? I said, yeah, once the lockdown opens, we can look at it. So he said, I call a lot of different faculties and I saw your profile on Facebook, etc., etc. So I said, okay, first you see my work, and then if you feel that it fits in somewhere in your program, then we can think about it. He explained what and all they do and what and all they work on. I said, as far as corporate and all is concerned, maybe I'm not the right person because I'm not a corporate person and I can't talk to in a very sophisticated crowd. I'm very this raw, free child person. If it's an open participant workshop, there I think I can fit well. But if it's a corporate setup where there are rules and regulations, I don't think I can fit well. So this much and all, now I can talk. I can tell people, okay, this I don't want to do. This I would like to do. Because it's not my comfort zone. This is my forte. And I would prefer to use that capacity more than trying to change myself and fit into the corporate and earn more money. I don't want. Because that's not my domain. It's not at all my domain. It's too much politics for me to handle. Why would I put myself there and then suffocate myself and feel bad that I can't do this? Because I've done a couple of corporate workshops. And then I realized, okay, I don't want to do this by choice. So these are the things which I realized with every trial, error, experiments that I've done in my work field. What I can do, what I cannot do, what I can improve, and what I don't want to improve. There's nothing that I cannot. I can do everything, but I don't want to. Because I would rather save my energy and do which is like fun for me. Like meeting random people, open workshops, no corporate setup, no like projector, PPT, Excel sheet. नहीं करना यार मुझे. Too much work, wasting my energy, so much energy. This is so free. This is like, wow. So I'd rather do this and have fun.
You'll have to control your freedom of laughing also.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'll have to wear a certain, Western outfit, and then I have to like wear a certain shoes, sandals, makeup, and everything. Not interested, boss.
To show what you are not.
Yeah. It takes so much work to be able to be okay with who you are. And now I try to fit in. Why? क्यों करना है मुझे नहीं करना है. So yeah, I mean, these are the things. There was this lady who called me for a corporate training program. She herself told someone that I would like to hire Bandana. And then when I went and met her, we shared our stories, how my life is and how her life, what were the common things. And so in that space of vulnerability, I spoke a lot about, okay, right now this is going on and that is going on. I'm going through some, my husband has lost his job and blah, 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 all of that. Now this lady, after that, the person who recommended my name to her, she's telling that person, oh, she was trying to gain sympathy. I said, wow, I couldn't even fathom that people can look at it that way. I was just talking because there were commonalities in the conversation. And I was sharing what I wanted to share. She shared what she wanted. I didn't talk about what she shared to the whole world. Okay, what's going on inside her life. It's not my job. But then when people do such things, then you realize, okay, fine. This is not an area which I can deal with. Because I don't want to go and give explanations. I don't want to even take explanations. I'm like better out of that system. So then I said, hey, thank you. I don't think I'll be able to take this up, the corporate trainings. I'm not fit and equipped for that. And when I say that, I say it with a lot of arrogance inside my head. I don't don't have the feeling that I'm small. I'm like, boss, तुम अपना ठीक कर लो खुद. मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है तुम्हारे लिए.
Right. You also feel confined, you know, somewhere in such a corporate setup and things like that.
Yeah, it's too much of a thing, hassle.
Yeah, it's a
They
big
want you
hassle.
to. They want you to create slaves.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to create slaves. I'm not a. My idea of empowering people is to remove the slavery out of the mind.
Yeah.
And if you want me to, like, you'll pay me say 1 lakh rupees, and you'll tell that, okay, create slaves for us. Sorry, not happening. I can't. Not for any amount of money. That's not my job. That's not what I would like to do, honestly. So here I have learned through, you know, these small and big experiences of life that these are things. It's not that I want to be in my comfort zone. This is my comfort zone, but I have moved a lot out of my comfort zone. बहुत out of comfort zone जाके काम किया. ये Zoom करना, YouTube पे डालना, everything is out of my comfort zone. I'm doing all of that too. But then कौन से comfort zone से मुझे बाहर आना है वो मैं decide करूँगी. You don't tell me ये तेरा comfort zone है से बाहर है. मुझे पता है.
You will see what you feel light with and
What works for
you.
me.
Mm.
What works for me. I choose what works for me. And in that, if those corporate people like it and they want to come and attend my Zoom call, come and attend. I don't have a problem. But if you will tell that you come to my office and be a certain way and fit into these boxes and then teach, I'm not interested. So these are the things, you know, not that those who are doing corporate training are bad. They are amazing. I love the corporate trainers. I have a couple of friends who are amazing corporate trainers. And when I look at them, I adore them for what they can do. I really adore them for what they can do. That much of confidence, that much of, you know, statistics. So much statistics they have, like data, statistics, century this happened, this history, all of that put together. It's a lot of work, which they put in so much work to deliver that in a corporate. And so they are being paid for that because it's valid, it's worth it. You're also putting in that much effort. I wouldn't want, you know, to, without putting in effort, get all what they are getting. No, not required. What I'm getting is good enough for me. So these are the things when you can get okay. Basically, it's getting okay with who you are, with the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly of you. And it begins with not being okay. And abuse is definitely, it begins with, I'm not okay, you're okay. And that's why you can abuse me. Later on, when that person continues to abuse and I have the story of abuse in my head, then I'm okay, you're not okay. Okay. So first I was not okay, you were okay. Then I'm not okay. I'm okay, you're not okay. And sometimes if I continue to play that abuse story for a very long time, then it'll be, I'm not okay, you're not okay. To come to I'm okay and you're okay, first I have to say no to abuse. Then there is no reason to complain. But to say no to abuse, first I have to see where is abuse stored in my body. How much abuse have I stored? And work on those body parts, each and every cell of my body. Trust me, when you start connecting to your body and when you heal those body parts, the shape, the size, the vibrancy of the body, the radiance, everything increases on its own.
Bandana, I wanted to ask you one thing. How do you connect yourself to that body part? How do you do that?
By starting with like how I started, like I said, right? Storing the abuse in my body parts is my soul step.
Acha.
Saying storing the abuse in my body parts is my soul's temple. Keep connecting to where, okay, for example, I'll do it. Storing the abuse in my body parts is my soul's temple. Storing the abuse in my body parts is my soul's temple. Storing abuse in my body parts is my soul's temple. Storing abuse in my body parts is my soul's temple. Storing abuse in my body parts is my soul's temple. Storing abuse in my body parts is my soul's temple. Storing abuse in my body parts is my soul's temple. So the first body part that comes to me is my this tummy area, this tire thing that we have,
Even for me, it was the tummy.
right?
Yeah.
Now when I got the area now, okay? So then I'll go, okay. My need to store abuse in my tummy is my soul's temple. My need to store abuse in my tummy is my soul's temple. My need to store abuse in my tummy is my soul's temple. My need to store abuse in my tummy is my soul's temple. My need to store abuse in my tummy is my soul's temple. My need to store abuse in my tummy is my soul's temple. My need to store abuse in my tummy is my soul's temple. Now the brilliance is because I'm so in tune with doing soul's temple, immediately the picture comes. So now what did I get? When I
Are
said,
you recording this, Vandana? Are you recording
yeah, it is recording. It is recording. So the immediate thing that came to me when I said my need to store abuse in my tummy, I'm seeing all these people coming to my house when I was a child, and so much parties happening, and my mother cooking all day long, and they're all eating, and next day my mother has fever. That was like a daily thing. So what did the child feel? When I already got the information, the body is giving me what is stored here. Now I have to go to the feeling. Okay. So my need to store abuse, my resistance to connect to this body part and heal this body part is my soul's temple. My resistance to connect to this body part and heal this body part is my soul's temple. My resistance to connect to this body part and heal this body part is my soul's temple. My resistance to connect to this body part and heal this body part is my soul's temple. My resistance to connect to this body part and heal this body part is my soul's temple. My resistance to connect to this body part and heal this body part is my soul's temple. My resistance to connect to this body part and heal this body part is my soul's temple. Now, what do I see when I'm saying this? I'm seeing my mother having those asthmatic attacks because she had asthma ever since. So much work she'll do, and then she'll get that asthmatic attacks, and then the child is watching. Oh, everybody came, they all had good food, they praised and they left, and now her asthmatic attack is beginning. It's painful for me to see. So that is why resistance to connect to that body part. Okay, as a child, when the mother is, if she's doing that, how would you enjoy that? You can't enjoy that, right? And you know that, oh, yesterday everybody came and 100 people ate food and they all left, and now this woman is doing this. Okay. So that is the resistance to connect to that body part, because what is stored is painful, right? Now comes, the abuser in me is my soul's temple. 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 I can literally see as a kid myself. I didn't do it. I didn't do it, but I feel like I can throw all these food tables, food plates, which people are coming and eating at the cost of my mother's health.
Yeah, so that way you become the abuser then.
In your head.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. So, but
Yeah.
when I'm saying the abuse, inside our heads, we are all potential criminals. That is where I'm coming to. So what I'm seeing in the childhood, in my imagination, I'm saying I feel like I'm a child. I feel like going and throwing all the plates that people are eating in, all that food. But just get lost, all you people. You're making my mother's. Now that's
But in this case, if supposing I was abused by my husband for finances,
yeah.
right from the day I got married. So how do I put it?
You just start with storing the abuse in my body parts is how I'm doing, and see what comes.
Achha.
See which body part, what memories are coming, and then heal those memories. That is how you heal. I'm just demonstrating because this is abuse is sensitive. I'm willing to talk about it. Okay.
Vandana, but your mother was not aware of it, no?
Obviously, for her it was homeostasis, that much work and that much pain, both.
So Bandana, when you started only with the abuse, no, like what body part are you storing it? So immediately I could feel it in my root chakra. So it's like vibrating. And I'm feeling the pain in my around the solar plexus towards the pancreas. So I do have high sugar levels also. So now
Yeah.
that two body parts are showing up. So I'll take one at a time and do.
One at a time. And first,
And what if it's
so if it's root chakra, it's about your connection with family and earth.
okay, earth and family.
Yeah. So you'll have to deal with your connection with earth and family. Your origin,
sex-
family of origin.
So not sexual abuse. Okay, so
Sexual will
family.
come to the sacral,
Okay.
usually.
Okay.
It
So
can
now,
be a
like, my
part of that.
left side. Okay, and the left side, like my pancreas are like hurting now, like just that once.
Correct. So there
Statement.
is abuse stored in the pancreas, right? And that is why high sugar levels and everything. Now, let's go further and see what's happening. Let me demonstrate the whole thing and let's talk.
Okay.
So we ended with the abuser in me is my soul's temple.
The abuser.
Yeah. The abuser in me is my soul's temple. 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 Now, the more I'm saying this, I'm seeing that child becoming calm, not breaking plates, not throwing plates in my imagination. Okay. So the more I'm saying the abuser in me is my soul's temple, I'm making peace with the abuser in me. Okay. Now, my need to reject. Okay, my need to hold on to the abuse and the abuser in me is my soul's temple. My need to hold on to the abuse and the abuser in me is my soul's temple. My need to hold on to the abuse and the abuser in me is my soul's temple. My need to hold on to the abuse and the abuser in me is my soul's temple. My need to hold on to the abuse and the abuser in me is my soul's temple. My need to hold on to the abuse and the abuser in me is my soul's temple. Now I can see a lot of child parts of me, not just one, so many. So many times in childhood I felt that. Okay, I'm seeing like an array of children sitting. Now, my resistance to let go of the abuse and the abusers is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the abuse and the abusers is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the abuse and the abusers is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the abuse and the abusers is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the abuse and the abusers is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the abuse and the abusers is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the abuse and the abusers is my soul's temple. Now everything vanishes and I only see me and my mother. Okay, let's see. It's very interesting for me also. What is unfolding in my tummy? Which I haven't yet seen.
Vandana, for me, it was like I just felt like that I would just scream at all those people. Of course, it was for my mother, but I was feeling that all those people who had used her and abused her in the sense of emotional abuse.
Yes.
That is the one which is coming up.
Exactly. So that we suppress that as a child, that anger, that wanting to hit those people or scream at them. Or we suppress that part and that is still there somewhere in the body.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is why we are not able to come out of those abuse. These abuses are just reflecting to a scream.
Yeah.
And if
So
you
can
don't
I
scream.
Can I
Yeah.
add something here?
Yeah.
So when you're saying abuse, like you got mother, I got my dadi, grandmother, and she was 14 when she got married, looking after a joint family. She was the eldest. From the age of 14, by 30, she had blood pressure, heart, and
Everything.
diabetes.
Yeah.
And then her health is totally gone, but her she's adulated for all that.
Correct. Excellent. Thank you for bringing this up. So, being adulated.
That's what I'm picking up from her, you know.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I look like her also.
Yes, let's address this. Okay. Thank you, Rita. So, being adulated for being abused is my soul's temple. Being adulated for being abused is my soul's temple. Being adulated for being abused is my soul's temple. Being adulated for being abused is my soul's temple. Being adulated for being abused is my soul's temple. Being adulated for being abused is my soul's temple. Being adulated for being abused is my soul's temple. The cost at which the abuse came is my soul's temple. The cost at which the abuse came is my soul's temple. The cost at which the abuse came is my soul's temple. The cost at which the abuse came is my soul's temple. The cost at which the abuse came is my soul's temple. The cost at which the abuse came is my soul's temple. The cost at which the abuse came is my soul's temple. The cost at which the abuse came is my soul's temple. So it's beautiful. I can see that all that my mom used to do, despite her health not supporting her and everything, so that she gets appreciation. And this morning I spoke about appreciation in my morning healing with parents call, because she was not appreciated. So much she used to do, but nobody appreciated. She kept doing more and more and more at the cost of her own health, so that somebody appreciates. Because if she could cook great food, people will come and appreciate. It's it's beautiful, brilliant, and at the same time so mind-boggling sometimes. That wow, how we at the cost of our health keep on doing things so that we get that one little appreciation, or that one little thing which we make it significant in life, right? Wow. Okay. So the benefit of abuse is my soul's temple. The benefit of being abused, the benefit of taking abuse is my soul's temple. The benefit of taking abuse is my soul's temple. The benefit of taking abuse is my soul's temple. The benefit of taking abuse is my soul's temple. The benefit of taking abuse is my soul's temple. The benefit of taking abuse is my soul's temple. The benefit of taking abuse is my soul's temple. You know what I can see the benefit of taking abuse? The stories that my mom tells to herself, oh, at least I'm able to work despite all diseases. मेरे हाथ पैर तो चल रहे. I'm sure this is going to heal her too. And I think it's the ripple effect of what I did in the morning and afternoon and now. I really I would love to see her healthier. Cool. The story that I've told to myself about the benefit of the abuse is my soul's temple. The stories I've told to myself about the benefit of the abuse is my soul's temple. The stories I've told to myself about the benefit of the abuse is my soul's temple. The stories I've told to myself about the benefits of the abuse is my soul's temple. The stories I've told to myself about the benefit of the abuse is my soul's temple. The stories I've told to myself about the benefit of the abuse is my soul's temple. The stories I've told to myself about the benefits of the abuse is my soul's temple. Teaching my children to be abused is my soul's temple. Teaching my children that it's okay to be abused is my soul's temple. Teaching my children that it's okay to be abused is my soul's temple. Teaching my children that it's okay to be abused is my soul's temple. Unconsciously teaching my children that it's okay to be abused is my soul's temple. Unconsciously teaching my children that it's okay to be abused is my soul's temple. Unconsciously teaching my children that it's okay to be abused is my soul's temple. Unconsciously teaching my children that it's okay to be abused is my soul's temple. I can literally see my mom sitting and wondering, now what? Now what do I do? How can I change this? She will never use this language, but it's like, oh God, I never knew. So now,
So when we say, जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है, and what gratitude can I have from this? So how do you cover that with Soul Temple? Because do you really find gratitude there, or it's a makeshift just to feel good about it?
it's it's a gratification, sense gratification for sure, but it is not gratitude.
So when do we be grateful then? How do like it's a very thin line between that.
It is a very thin line, and that is very individual, I would say, Rita. Only the individual will know that am I truly grateful, or I'm just gratifying my senses.
Otherwise, I'm a very ungrateful person, so I don't get the gratitude so soon. I can't see the the space where I can be grateful in such situations, where you're abused and you're continuously allowing it.
Yeah, there's
It
no
could be
need to be
emotional
grateful
manipulation.
there. The thing is, but if that other person doesn't realize what we have to, when we are digging further, what are we seeing, that what does that person actually require? Why is that person taking abuse? What is that person receiving from that abuse? For example, I know about me. I mean, I can't tell about my mom, but I know about me. That when I was 5, and the servant in my house who used to come and sexually abuse me, now I don't even call it abuse. He used to touch me and do things to me. For me, at that time, it was love. At that time, it was kindness, because nobody used to touch me. Okay. And so it was never abuse for me as a kid. Then when I grew up, people said, oh, this is wrong. This is right. Then I know, oh, I did something wrong. And then guilt. And then punishment, how the punishment will come. Oh my God, I'm not worthy enough. My body is not pure. Now, these are the points of view that people have given to us. That if you're raped, if you're abused, if you're sexually abused, you have a problem. You are the culprit. Now, these are the points of view that people have given. And then when we take those, now what do? We will invite abusive partners who will all the more abuse your bodies. Which I did. So this is like a classic game, which we'll continue to play if we don't heal our bodies of the abuse abuse that we received, abuse that we felt when we saw even somebody else being abused. A child, when the child sees the mother being abused or the brother being abused, physically beaten, the child feels the abuse in the body. And that abuse is stored, and if I don't heal that part, I'll continue to have abusive people around me. So in order to heal, for me to heal that part of me. It's,
now after all this conversation, I feel the feeling that came was that the abuse was stored in my breast.
yes, not being a good enough mother.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
That
the
nurturing.
feeling is that it's something is stored in the breast.
In the breast.
Which has come out as cancer.
Correct. And that is what becomes cancer later. The abuse that we store in our bodies.
Yeah.
Or
It's
cancer or arthritis or any disease.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just come to my mind just now.
See? And this is why these things, when we are doing this Soul's Temple and all, we are recognizing, oh, okay, this is also there inside my body. I just now saw. Okay, now what? Let's heal it.
Bandana, even the person who is abusing is abused somewhere.
Of course,
in
yes.
itself.
Yes.
Of course. It is a pattern in them also to be abusive. Only thing, they don't know how to control their abusive streaks. We controlled it and we were at the effect of it. They didn't control, others were at the effect of it.
Yeah.
It is anyway the same. What I spoke today, it's a triangle, equilateral triangle. Victim, victimizer, rescuer. All in the same game. None is better than the other.
Yeah.
When we realize that, I know it's very shocking, zor ka jhatka aise zor se mara thappad.
Like potential criminal, each and
Yes. I loved that line. The first time I heard it, I was like, this is so true. It is so true. We all could have been behind bars if we would have actually expressed everything that we felt. Or killed people whom we feel angry with.
Actually, it is very true.
But being in thoughts is also like a being
Yes,
behind bars.
see, it's like mental masturbation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I didn't go and do it, but I'm
Yeah.
doing it in my head constantly, right?
Yeah. I mean, this way you feel you might have murdered so many people, unlimited people you might have murdered.
Actually, doing a murder is better because once you murder, you realize, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
This is too much. I shouldn't be doing this. And then you'll sit and change it in you. But
This
if you're
way,
doing,
the person is living in front of your eyes and you cannot do anything about it.
yeah. So when we suppress it and when we don't in action do anything about it, so much is getting into our bodies as sickness and disease.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are creating so many diseases in our body. And that's the abuse. It's not the people who abuse. It's fucking you who are abusing your body every now and then.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have the courage either to express what you felt or you didn't know that I can heal this.
Yeah.
You were ignorant that, okay, this can be dealt with. This can change. And
Right.
if so far you are ignorant, doesn't matter. Now wake up. Now wake up. It is never too late.
And more we are judging others, the more we are abusing ourselves.
Yes, we are. So much in trying to even judge the abusers and judging ourselves for being abused. Everything is the same. एक ही थाली के वो थैली के चट्टे बट्टे. Until we come, first accept the abuser within us, make peace with that, then see, okay, what was the abuse? Okay, what did I truly feel? I felt very angry. I wanted to break the plates. Fine. Okay. That is why I don't call people home. I don't entertain people for cooking for them and they're having all the fun and I having to suffer.
Yeah.
So the pattern happens even after the whole thing has taken place because it's come into your life too.
Yes.
That is what is there.
That is what. So in a person who's honoring the body is teaching another to honor the body, what I'm doing. A person who has learned to abuse the body is teaching another to abuse the body.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It is not even your children. It is so many more people. The women who sacrificed, went sati and died on the pyre of the husband. They were teaching all the women that you should burn when your husband dies. Really? And that becomes a pratha, parampara. And then what? And then one day somebody stands up for that and says that I'm not going to burn myself when my husband dies. And that one person will be ridiculed, will be insulted, will be told names. But that one person who says that no matter what you say, I'm going to stop this abuse. I'm not going to take this. Now that one person creates a revolution. And then one person to another, ripple effect. There is no more sati. But it existed. So similarly, there are a lot of things that exist, which either we close our eyes to or we choose to be ignorant about. Because there is a benefit, some benefit. That one small benefit that we are getting, if we could just receive that benefit by doing something else, we don't have to hold on and store that abuse anymore in our bodies.
Yeah.
And I, like, thankfully, I chose this field. Thankfully, I did so much work to come out of all sorts of abuse. Now nobody can abuse me. And I don't abuse anybody. I don't feel the need to abuse anybody because that story is over. And then now when I'm talking to other people, all the more if there is any remnant that is also coming up and that's also going off.
But
So-
Vandana, how do I stop the abuse from my children now?
First, you have to acknowledge the abuser in you, like I did today. Okay? Because you have to go back to those memories where when you were being abused and you felt that these are all at fault, but I'm not at fault.
Okay.
And when you make peace with that part of you, and then all that you wanted to do that you didn't do in return to that abuse, heal that part of you, acknowledge that part of you that I also wanted to get back, or maybe whatever it is, right? Once you do that, and then, okay, what was I getting out of this, receiving that abuse? What was I getting to be this, be this whatever image, what was I getting out of that? Whom did I learn it from? My mother, my father? Whom did I learn it from? Or my grandmother, my grandfather? Okay, now one by one, bringing all of those parts and pieces together and changing it. Then, when you stop abusing yourself, they will stop abusing you. But first, you have to acknowledge that abuser in you.
But sometimes I feel it's gone so far that how do I bring it back? I mean, that they've grown up in age and everything, and it's very difficult I feel helpless, like.
So then, address the helplessness.
Okay.
Feeling helpless about the abusive surroundings is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. Feeling helpless about the abusive surrounding is my soul's temple. My need to feel helpless is my soul's temple. My need to be and feel helpless is my soul's temple. My need to be and feel helpless is my soul's temple. My need to be and feel helpless is my soul's temple. My need to be and feel helpless is my soul's temple. My need to be and feel helpless is my soul's temple. My need to be and feel helpless is my soul's temple. My resistance to get in touch with the empowered parts of me and change this for now and for the future is my soul's temple. My resistance to get in touch with the empowered part of me and change this for now and for the future is my soul's temple. My resistance to get in touch with the empowered part of me and change this for now and for the future is my soul's temple. My resistance to get in touch with the empowered part of me and change this for now and for the future is my soul's temple. My resistance to get in touch with the empowered part of me and change this for now and for the future is my soul's temple. My resistance to get in touch with the empowered part of me and change this for now and for the future is my soul's temple. Wow. What a conversation. I didn't know it's going to lead here, but I think this is very, reflective, thought-provoking. If we could actually see that I'm still in this victim-victimizer control, abuse, being abused, wanting to abuse but not abusing, suppressing abuse, and abuser. It's all inside me. So that's the victim, victimizer, and control. It's all inside me. And when I identify those three parts of me and deal with them, definitely I'll be able to heal that. Definitely.
Vandana, 3 weeks back when I had a fight with my daughter, the day she gave me the injection, if you remember, I told
Yeah,
you.
I remember.
I didn't take the injections from her, and 2 injections I took from outside from somebody.
Yeah.
So yesterday I had my chemo. So today I had to take the injection again. So she came on her own, My
She
daughter
came.
must have told her. She came, and she came with her husband. Now, I'm not in a position to say, no, I won't take the injection.
That's
you know.
fine. It's okay
So
to
I
receive.
took it.
Yeah.
So I took it. But with a very heavy heart and with a very,
No, but
from
this
inside,
is
I didn't feel like doing it.
acknowledge the change. Acknowledge that I said no, but then she came on her own.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a change. Acknowledge the change
Yeah.
and receive.
Yeah. No, I did receive, but there is somewhere I feel that is because of her husband that she did it. Because her husband knew that the chemo is done and she has to give the injection.
Okay, but still, like,
But whatever is there, she had to come. Yeah.
yeah, she came, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She listened to her husband. She could have said no, right?
Yeah.
Will you acknowledge that something
Yeah.
shifted?
Yeah.
Okay, something shifted. Be willing to receive.
Yeah.
Get it, Ranjali, that when we come to very helpless times in our life, we can just receive and acknowledge what is going on inside us and deal with that part rather than making anybody outside us right and wrong, because we are helpless in this position.
Yeah.
Okay. And at the same time, after acknowledging that and dealing with that, now getting in touch with the empowered part. The empowered part did say no. Okay. Now when she came, I received. Don't think that, oh, now receiving that from her is an abuse. Because it's different. Now you're operating from a different space. These are the acknowledgements that we have to do. When we are, if we get stuck in the story that we've been telling so far, we'll never be able to come out of that story. So every day, one small change, acknowledge. One more small change, acknowledge. Okay, today this changed, fine. How about if you would have said, I'm happy that you came. I'm happy you came on your own and you gave me this injection. It makes me feel better. And when you don't do that and when you abuse me, it really makes me feel bad. How about communicating that simply like this? How
Okay.
much ease will that bring to you and to her?
Okay. I'll do that. I'll message her.
Yes. Because somewhere you took abuse. You taught them that it's okay to be abusive and to be abused. Now they are getting abused in some area of life and they are abusing you in turn. Because you're the weaker one now. What is the abuse game? Always abuse the weaker one.
Yeah.
But when you were the stronger one, they would have felt abused. Because the abuse that you took, like how my mother took abuse, I felt that abuse. She didn't abuse me directly. But she took abuse and I kept feeling that abuse in my
Right.
life.
Right.
And now I allow people to abuse me thinking that abuse is okay. But how much will be my anger towards my mother who didn't say no to abuse?
Right.
So that anger, I will keep on reflecting at her because I'm so angry with her.
Right.
You get the perspective?
Yes. Yes.
And then when I change it, when the mother changes it, and I also see it, oh, okay, fine. She didn't know any better way. Now, when we both reconcile this, now there is harmony.
Yes.
At the end of the day, what do we want from the daughter?
Love and affection and harmony. That's all.
Isn't that? So now start asking for that. Start doing clearing statements about, wonder what would it be like for me to have love, affection, and harmony with my daughters without any, need for abuse. And everything that doesn't allow that, I destroy and uncreate it.
Right.
Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, orange, choice, balls, and rules. And if you start doing that, and First of all, the change in perspective is already healing. Then the healing will happen even in the outside. See my morning's call of today.
Okay.
It's very important.
I'll hear that also.
Listen, tomorrow is a Sunday. Anyway, we don't have calls. So tomorrow, see
Yeah.
today morning's call, today afternoon call, and then this call.
Right.
It's all like almost like a, step 1, step 2, step 3.
Step 2.
I was going to say that.
Wasn't
Series.
Rajiv supposed to come today? Wasn't
Yeah.
Rajiv supposed to come today?
No, Monday.
Acha, Monday. Okay.
Rajiv sir is coming on Monday. Monday 6.
Okay. Okay.
So Vandana, the morning call was on the mother's thing,
Mother and father both. Parents.
Acha.
and one was mother, which I sent to you. That was some other day.
That was another day.
And afternoon was also mother father.
No, today was if something is chaotic in the environment, how to deal with it. That was in the afternoon.
Okay, so every topic is different on every time of
Every
the
day it is different. Every call is different. I'm kind of, it's like summarizing my whole 10 years journey in 1 month.
How does it get
Actually,
even better?
it's just that what comes up at what time.
Whatever
it's
comes up, I just
automatically,
take it.
Yeah, it just
Exactly.
comes up,
So yeah, and the beauty is, because I worked on all those things, I have something or the other to contribute here in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
area. So it's, in a way, it is kind of, all that was already there in my universe, maybe like in a scattered space. Now, one by one, it's getting channelized and getting into the calls.
Yeah.
And it is going to remain on YouTube for a lot of more people to benefit later too.
But Vandana, it only happens if you've gone through it. Otherwise,
Yes.
those feelings don't come up.
Absolutely. If I wouldn't have worked myself on my abuse, I wouldn't know what abuse is.
Yeah.
How can I how can I do anything about it then?
Yeah. You can't feel those feelings, like those right feelings, what was happening,
And that is what, right? That is the brilliance of my journey.
Yeah.
I chose a very difficult journey to make it easy
We are privileged. We are the
for me
privileged
and
ones.
for everyone.
Yeah, we are getting the benefit of it now.
I first got the benefit of it, and then you're getting the benefit of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's basically it's brilliant, right? Nowadays when I look at life, I just feel like every day is brilliant. Like every day is brilliant. How does it truly get better than this?
Yeah, it teaches you something, somewhere. It's
Yeah.
teaching you every
And
day
today,
something.
today, you know what? Morning, another old participant of one of the workshops that I met her. Randomly, she sent 5,000 rupees into my account. I didn't do 1-to-1 with her. She said,
Okay.
"This is for all the good work that you're doing on your YouTubes." I was
How
like,
sweet.
how
How sweet that is. Yeah. How sweet.
I was like, okay, thank you, universe. And I told her also, thank you, of course.
This is
now-
what actually, that universe
Reward.
is just
This
giving
is
rewards,
the
giving
reward.
you. Yeah.
This, I don't take it as 5,000 rupees. This is like earned. I earned it.
Yeah, this is something you earned in all those years. You worked and
Yeah,
earned
all
it.
the 10 years that I've worked.
Yeah.
It's not about how much money. It is about somebody.
No, it's the happiness that gives,
yeah,
comes from
that's somebody
inside.
out of the way early morning putting money
Yeah.
into your account and telling you thank you for the good work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
It's असली धन, असली धन.
हाँ, वो पैसा बरकत करेगा ही करेगा.
Ah, of course. Yes.
Possible ही नहीं है, वो और multiply ही होना है. वो कम तो हो
Yeah.
ही नहीं सकता. And I was so grateful this morning. I was like, wow. I just feel thankful for being capable of doing these conversations.
Yeah.
It's, a lot of people go through abuse, a lot of people do healing, a lot of people have come out of it or not come out of it, but to be able to communicate it the way I'm able to communicate it, and to be able to perceive what another person feels, and be in that position and then kind of,
I'll just come in a minute.
yeah.
Just come.
So this is, for me, it is development of my skill. My skills have developed a lot, and my skills are becoming more, honed. I'm honing my skills when I'm working with that many people instead of just one-to-one. And that gives me so much of food to say more to people. That okay, each time when a person like Ranjini or Ruby or anybody who asks questions, like today Kanika asked in the afternoon call. Now these people who are willing to be vulnerable, talk about what's going on and asking questions are bringing this out of me.
Mm.
I have so many experiences and so much I have learned and so much healed, all of that. But what exactly has to come out is, it's very beautifully, divinely orchestrated. And I'm just in awe of that magnificence of the universe.
You have compassion for everyone, despite we people come out from our
Yeah, I
existence.
truly love people. That is a fact that I completely acknowledge. I really, really love people. And there have been so many people who've told me, Ki, you love people a lot. I said, yes, I do. I really love people. Only thing is, what I learned is, because earlier I used to love them so much and receive the abuse and be the effect of it, of people taking advantage of this, me loving them so much. But then that, as and when I healed, now I'm not at the effect of anything. Now I know when to say no. Now I know when to talk, when not to talk, or how much time I want to give. Like for 1 month, if I'm doing this, I'm not doing one-to-one sessions, and it's by choice because I need my rest. I need my, I'm honoring my body. So that is choice, and exercising all the choices that we have, and in being a contribution to another, not at the cost of me. Like yesterday, if I was so upset and I was crying so much after that death, I didn't do any calls, right? I didn't force myself that I have to do these calls. It's a commitment. It is a commitment, but when I'm in such a deep, sad space, when there's so much grief inside of me, at that time I can't be doing my work. Then I would be abusing me. And when I was better, then I got up and I did it this morning. And I also acknowledge that this work and the, activities keep me coming out of things faster, the sadness and everything.
True.
So I'm also receiving from that.
Mm.
That's the beauty of this. Yeah, Ruby.
I wanted to actually thank you for putting me and the other girl together,
That
because
was intuitive.
that has created so much space that I will not even, like, it's only 7 days since we started working
Yeah.
with each other, and today something she was talking about and suddenly this thing came up. So I'm so grateful for her to be so contributive
Yeah.
to my life. And I want to thank you one more thing. Like, even though we had paired together and we were supposed to be doing on different things, we both chose obesity to be the one.
I
And
knew that already. When I paired you guys, I knew it.
and you won't believe it, actually even she feels that she has lost inches, and even I feel like I have actually lost kilos.
I can see it in your body.
I have actually lost kilos. So
And I'm
thank
so
you
grateful.
so much. Thank you so much for it.
This is, for me, it is like, wow. Like, I knew when I told you guys to pair, I knew what is going to get created here. I really knew. And I'm so grateful for you to listen to what I say And
How did you lose weight? What happened?
they are
I
working
missed
on
it.
each other every day on the obesity with Soulstem.
Acha.
Two people paired up. I paired up two people in one of the calls, and
Okay.
they are
Okay.
every day sitting with each other and working.
Okay.
And so, it is changing.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. You all also can, if you feel like you can pick up people, like Rita, Ranjali, if you guys want to work with each other, because all of you have your own varied set of experiences. So when you
Yeah.
work together, a lot of things will shift. In group calls, not necessarily everything will shift, but of course, group calls are also shifting things.
Yeah.
But when you do this, one-on-one, then you can go deeper and deeper and go into the
Right.
layers and bring them out.
Right.
So that's also possible.
Right.
Cool. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
Okay.
Monday. And
Good
Monday
night.
evening, 6 p.m., we have Dr. Rajiv Naidu. He is one of my most amazing mentors.
Yeah.
I would like
I've
a lot
heard,
of people to come on call.
I've heard him. I've heard him once or twice. Mm.
So please join at 6 p.m. Monday.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Vandana. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.